Now, this particular book you're reviewing today has a very intriguing title, Sophie Standing There.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Why is she standing there?
Exactly, Martin. And I think it's great. It's Sophie, standing there. So there she is. And it's about a quiet lady called Sophie. And she is a sound technician at a literary festival. So I suppose really there is a lot of standing there.
Yeah.
And a lot of, I would say that the book's main theme really is her invisibility. So it's quite a large literary festival in an unnamed city. Meg Mason, the author, lives in Sydney, so it might be a big Australian city. For me, being an original Brit, I was thinking maybe like a big one in London or somewhere.
Right.
But, so they get really big names at this literary festival. She even sort of name drops and fictionalizes real characters like George Saunders, and David Sedaris turns up, and that's quite fun if you're a big reader. And but a lot of these people, when she is miking them up to go on stage, she's just completely invisible to them. And that is normal and correct in her job. Like, so some of the sound technicians that then go, oh, I've written a book, and start to harass the talent, that's a real no-no. And everyone cringes when they do so. And Sophie prides herself on this professionalism. Now, she's got some things going on in her personal life. Her husband, Paul, they've split up. They were trying to have a child. They had a lot of fertility issues. And then one day, Sophie's in the shower and Paul comes in and says, I'd like not to live with you anymore.
Oh,
which
boy.
is, I know. And it's kind of like gently comedic, but also really awful. And so they split up. She goes to live in his crappy rental flat. And so she's then becomes, understandably, a bit depressed, and stops replying to texts from her best friend and her brother, and just becomes quite isolated. And then that's the point at which the story takes off, is that she's always prided herself. She never fixates on these authors. And then she gets promoted at work, and her boss says, like, and who would you like to see come to this festival? And she says, well, we could always try for Lilac Dunn, who is the biggest author on the planet, in this book. And that's the point at which Sophie begins to absolutely fixate on Lilac Dunn and break all her own rules. And eventually, Lilac Dunn comes along to the festival and everything changes for Sophie, and she goes quite down the rabbit hole. But it is a very gentle comedic book, and Meg Mason's just the most amazing writer. She's a Kiwi by birth, and her book Sorrow and Bliss was actually shortlisted for longlisted, I can't remember now, for the Women's Prize of Fiction. It's been sold all around the world. So she's just got one of these beautiful, gentle, comedic styles that really delves into relationships and society, and it's quite a beautiful read.
Well, I can see why you enjoyed it, being right into your books and an author yourself, but who else is going to enjoy this?
Yeah, I think anyone who's just a big reader and likes to know about authors and just really delve into relationships, like Sally Rooney does, or the authors that really go into the internal life of a character. I think it's just a darn good read.